Hey everybody, my name is Christian Freeman, and in this video I'm going to be walking you through the basics of ConvertKit. So I've been using ConvertKit for probably about a year now. I've grown my list with it to about 4,000 subscribers, which I'm really proud of and really excited about. And ConvertKit has really been a great enabler to do that. So the sequences, the broadcast feature, segmenting and tags, all of that stuff has been really important to helping me grow my list. And in this video, I want to take you through kind of the basics of ConvertKit, so using their free plan, and show you the kind of things that you can do with ConvertKit. So if you haven't already, I will put a sign up link in the bottom of the description of the video. It's going to be a referral link, so I think you get a little bit something extra there for signing up through that link. And then it's also a great way to support, if you enjoy the video. It really helps a lot. One last thing I'll say is that if you're interested in kind of growing your list and talking to other people, this video is part of a project that I am just launching called Mailing List Hackers, which you can find at mailinglisthackers.com. I'll put a link to that in the description as well. You'll probably be watching it on the Mailing List Hackers YouTube channel. And it's a project where, if you're working on newsletters, on mailing lists, you can come and hang out and read kind of guides, tutorials, and also hang out in our Discord chat community and, get tips, ask for help with stuff. Still growing that community. This is literally like kind of the ground floor of that as I'm recording this video. So make sure and go check that out as well. So if you haven't already, like I said, you should sign up for a ConvertKit account. This is going to be, assuming that you're using the free plan. The paid plan has a couple other features, but for now, we'll just kind of walk through the dashboard with the free plan and understand all the things that you can do with ConvertKit. So I've just created a new account, different than my normal, larger ConvertKit list. And here we're just going to basically walk through each of the little sections in the dashboard. And then the conclusion here is, we're going to create a landing page that will actually kind of convert people, ConvertKit, convert people to join our mailing list. And then we'll send out a broadcast, which is basically a newsletter email to our new subscribers. So let's start with the dashboard here. So on the free plan, you can see there's a couple of different things up here in the navigation. There's landing pages and forms. This is how you're going to get people to join your list. We'll take a look at what a landing page looks like in a second. If you're selling a product or you have a community that you're growing, a landing page is where you'll send people, it'll say details about whatever it is you're trying to promote, whether it's a product or whatever. And it'll also have a kind of the classic, name and email address, and that will be how they actually subscribe to your list. Moving on here, subscribers is going to be where you're going to view your subscribers. So you'll be able to see the total number of subscribers. There'll be a graph here that shows, how people are joining your list and unsubscribing from your list. You'll be able to kind of view it over time. It's a kind of classic analytics view. And finally, broadcasts. These are your emails. These are the emails you're sending out to people. They are one-time emails, which means that, I can schedule something for like Monday morning. I write my email and I can send it out to my subscribers. You can also choose to send these broadcasts out to specific people, whether that's by a tag. Say I have a bunch of different stuff going on in my mailing list, and I have certain people that are tagged for, say, a book that they've purchased. Maybe they bought an ebook. I've released a new update and I want to send an email to them saying, hey, there's a new version of this. I can send a broadcast to that specific tag, and just those people will get that email. Automations is a paid feature, so I'll cover that in a different video. I use automations really heavily in my own kind of larger mailing list, like my real ConvertKit account. It's a super powerful feature that frankly, no other mailing list provider does as well as ConvertKit, and I imagine I'll be talking a lot about it on this channel in the future. And then finally, learn here is, just like you can go in and kind of get guides and like documentation. I think they have some like guided tutorials and stuff like that. We're obviously not going to look at that too much here in this tutorial. So let's go back to landing pages here and create our first landing page. So there are both landing pages and forms. And the way that you can think about this is that a form is for embedding on your existing website. So if you have a WordPress blog, Squarespace, or you just want to paste like the JavaScript and HTML into whatever your website is, you'd use a form in that case. And a landing page is hosted by ConvertKit. So if you don't have a website, or if you just want like a kind of one-off page that you can send people to, it also has a really kind of good design. You have lots of really great options in the landing pages. So let's make our first one here. So I'll just select create new. You can see here there's form or landing page. I'm going to select the landing page for now. And we have all of these really nice looking themes that we can choose from. So I'm going to do, let's just do this one. We'll do the first one, Abby here. So I selected choose. And now this is where I can design my landing page. So maybe I'll just do like an example, learn everything. So learn everything you need to know about growing your email list. And I'll just say, sign up for our free, we'll do free ebook on growing your email list and getting your first 100 subscribers. On the sidebar here, we have this kind of customization. So you can do things like change fonts or change the image. Here you can set a custom domain, which is really cool. So I can say things like, and we'll cover this probably in a future video, how do I deploy this landing page to a specific domain? There's a bunch of other features here. SEO and analytics is a good one. You can kind of set how this renders like on Twitter. If you've ever seen like a Twitter card, all of this stuff you can go kind of poke around in. It's a little bit more advanced, I think, than the purpose of this tutorial. And then image, I think we'll also just leave blank for now. So the basics here is, you can kind of set a title and a description, and then you can gather an email address. Right, so I can also click here and add a new field. I really recommend that you make a new field here and capture their first name, and actually I'll make it required as well. And the reason for that is that you can then use this when you send out broadcasts, when you send out emails. You can say something like, hey, first name, right? So I really recommend doing that. It kind of adds some personalization here. The last thing that I'll do is I'll come up here and just give this a new name. I'll just call this email list ebook. And so this is my landing page, right? I'm going to click save and publish. When you first create a landing page, you have kind of the option to get your own domain or kind of subdomain. And this will be where all of your landing pages are hosted. So it has Deft Creator 471. I'm just going to say Christian ConvertKit guide.ck.page. I'll just grab that one. And you can see it's been updated, it's been published. And now if I go to share here, I would guess actually that URL is maybe a little out of date. So let me refresh real quick. I'll go to share, and there you go. You can see I got this Christian ConvertKit guide. So I'll copy. And so if I copy this URL and I put it in, you can see it's actually 404ing. I would imagine this is like ConvertKit just like getting the landing page ready. So for now, let's just go and look at some other stuff, and hopefully it'll kind of resolve here by the time this video is over. So if I go to reports here, I can see just a couple different stats here. This will obviously be more useful when people start going to your page. I have number of visitors, which is the number of times that people have seen this page. I have subscribers, which is I have subscribers, which is obviously like people that have subscribed from this page. And then I have my conversion rate, which is the number of times, for every visitor that comes to this page, how many of them subscribe. So conversion rate is something, for a lot of people, I think they really kind of want to dig into that number and say, how can I improve that conversion rate? How can I get more people subscribing to this page? And finally, top refers. It's blank right now, but this will be you'll basically be able to see where people are coming from to get to this landing page. So if you're sharing on Twitter, you're sharing on Facebook, or sharing on a blog post, you can see, of all these different places, which one of these is the place that people are coming to this landing page from, the most kind of consistently. And just a couple minutes later, you can see it actually did publish successfully. Well, I actually had to duplicate it, make a new one, and then save it. It seems like maybe when I chose that domain for the first time, it caused a little bit of like a ConvertKit bug. So maybe I'll let them know that I think I found a bug. But you can see this is my URL for my landing page, right? So if I come in here, I can enter in information. Maybe I'll do that. I'll just say Christian, and I'll just give it an email. I'll say Christian at... I'll say mailing list test, just give it my email. And when I click subscribe, you'll see by default, ConvertKit has really good defaults around email confirmation. You really want people to get a confirmation email for your newsletter. I know you've probably seen that before. When you've signed up for newsletters, the reason for that is that you can actually be, I think, breaking the law if you just auto confirm people into your newsletter. So it can be it's a really bad idea to just be able to just start adding people and start sending them emails. You'll basically, be registered as spam. And in the worst case, you'll probably get in trouble from ConvertKit or something like that. So here you can see if I come into my email, I have this email here. Thanks for signing up. Click the link below to confirm your subscription. You can customize this. Maybe in a future video, I'll kind of dig into that more. For now, I'll just say confirm my subscription. And I've got my first subscriber for my landing page. Okay, it was me, it wasn't someone else. But if I come back here and I look at my subscriber page, you can see that I have my first subscriber. So as more people sign up for your newsletter, you'll start to see this graph fill out. You'll see new subscribers and unsubscribes and things like that. I can also click in here and I can see some information about each subscriber. So for instance, I can see it actually knew that I was in Austin, Texas. I got my first name here, and I can also see all of the emails that have been sent to this user. So, as your list has been going on for a long time, you can then go look in at different users and say like, okay, when did they start receiving emails? Which ones are they reading? Which ones are they not? I can go to forms here and I can see that they signed up for this email list ebook form, and that's kind of their entry point into my list. And you can do this for any of your subscribers, which is really useful. So let's wrap up this tutorial by sending our first broadcast. Like I said, broadcasts are one-time emails that can be sent to your subscribers. So we'll do new broadcast here. And to start, you can see the couple first kind of options here. First, you can say who it's from. So that's a really kind of gross sending email address. It looks kind of nasty, but you can go and customize that. You can change that. And the reasoning there is, when an email obviously shows up in the inbox, you can say, for instance, send it from an email address that someone can actually reply to. I highly recommend doing that, where someone can actually just reply to your email and just get in touch with you directly, or your team, or whatever you kind of want to, however you want to do that. So for now, I'll just stick with the default, of course. And the second part here is super important. It's this, who will receive this broadcast? By default, it will send to all of your subscribers, but you actually have this whole sort of workflow here for customizing that. So I can say, I can add a filter where it's all subscribers, and this is actually pretty interesting, within a country or region. Okay, let's say, how about anyone who is subscribed and is in the US, or anyone who is subscribed and they subscribed before, I don't know, a couple days ago, July 6th, right? There's a really sort of powerful workflow here for customizing how or who gets these broadcasts. A lot of the time, I think day to day, this will basically just be on tags. So if you tag someone, like I said earlier, based on, buying a book or being a certain kind of level, say like tier, if you have like a community or something like that, that's how all of that sort of factors in. But you can see, for instance, here I said matching all of, all subscribers and anyone who has subscribed before July 6th. So obviously today's July 8th. So this is going to be 0 subscribers because I didn't have any subscribers back then, but I'll just remove that and I'll go down to 1 subscriber. So I'm going to just send a broadcast to, that account that I just signed up a couple minutes ago. Your broadcast description here, this is basically a way for you to refer to it in the broadcast page. So your subscribers won't see this at all, but I might call it like first broadcast. And then you'll be able to refer to this as first broadcast inside of the dashboard here. So I'll select next, and this is my kind of compose view. So this is where I write my email, right? So I'll just say, hello new subscribers. And here in my content view, so this is ConvertKit's kind of their old editor. It's basically, it's a really basic place where I can say like, hey there, I just started this email list and I'm super happy that you've subscribed. Check out our social media to learn more about what we're up to. I'll just say twitter.com/my-twitter. Sure. Thanks, chat again soon. So it's just a really basic email, right? One thing we can do here that I mentioned earlier is we actually have this ability to personalize. So these are specific sort of tags based on information about your user. So instead of saying, hey there, I can replace this with, let's say, subscriber's name with fallback. And it's basically putting in kind of a like code tag here where there's a lot of stuff to explore here, as you might imagine. And you can dig deep into like how this stuff works. But this is a kind of nice built-in template where it can say, if subscriber first name is not blank, so if there is a first name set for the subscriber, you can say hello subscriber first name, else just hello. And so for instance, in my subscriber I set up earlier, it will say hello Christian. Otherwise it'll just say hello. So that's how that works. So we'll save that. And just to show you, there is a new editor that is in beta. It looks a little different, and you can see there's not this whole kind of like toolbar here, but you can do things directly here. You can add all these different things here. I personally have some issues writing stuff in the new editor. I find it doesn't always work, but if you're writing kind of basic text-based emails, you should give it a shot, I think. And they're also looking for feedback too, right? So you can definitely check that out if you want. For now, I'm just going to save this again, and you can also view this in browser. So you can see this is what it would look like if they opened it in their browser. Or you can send yourself an email and actually see what it would look like in your inbox. I highly recommend doing that, especially when you are just getting started writing emails. I really recommend just kind of looking at it in your inbox and making sure that it looks how you would like it to before you send it out. One last thing here is this A/B test feature, which is, it's actually really cool that they made this available in the free plan, I think, as far as it looks like I can use it in the free plan, where I can write 2 different subjects, where I can say, hello, new subscribers, or maybe new subscribers, what you need to know. And I'll just give it like an emoji. So I can test 2 different versions of this subject. And I'll show you here in a second what that looks like. And ConvertKit has this built-in ability to kind of test different headlines or subjects and send the better one or the higher performing one to your subscribers. So if I go to the next step here, you can see that this is going to be kind of my last page before I send this email. So I have 2 subjects here, hello new subscribers and new subscribers, what you need to know. What's going to happen here is that it's going to send each email to 15% of your list. So one 15% chunk will get hello new subscribers. The other 15% will get new subscribers, what you need to know. And then as it says here, after 4 hours, it's going to look at which one is being read the most, which one's being opened the most, which one has people clicking links inside of the email the most, and it's going to send that one to the rest of your subscribers. So, I have 1 subscriber, so this probably won't actually work, but just to kind of show you how that works, I do this all the time. Basically, every broadcast I'm sending out, I'm doing kind of A/B tests of subject lines. And the reason for that is that it kind of helps you develop a better sense of like how to write good subjects, which is, I think, a topic that could be covered a lot in this channel and on the blog as well. It's good to kind of start to develop that sense of like how to write subjects. There's definitely a point where you can go overboard and like get really clickbaity, which I don't do too much. But this is like a built-in feature. It's like basically a no-brainer, right? You should just try it and kind of see how many people you can get to open. So finally, the last thing here on the side, this is where we're going to actually send our broadcast. And so you can see right now it's a draft. It's going to go to 1 person, which is that person I subscribed earlier. And finally, I can either send it immediately or I can schedule it for some point in the future. This is super powerful. I highly recommend scheduling things out in the future so that you don't have to be kind of on the hook for writing emails like the morning of or the night before or something like that. So I can come here and I can say, well, maybe I want this to go out next Monday, July 13th. And then I can select a time. This will be in Eastern time. I think by default you can go and set your time zone in your settings, and it'll send based on your time zone. For now, I'm just going to click on schedule, and I'm just going to send my broadcast. And one last thing here, I'll need to fill out some information. This is like kind of a legal requirement, and I need to confirm my email. So I'll come back after I do that here in a sec. So once I've verified everything, you can see it just brought me back here. I'll just do send broadcast. Again, I'm sending it immediately. So this is going to show up and it's going to say queue hello new subscribers for immediate delivery to 1 subscriber. You'll notice here that even though I'm doing an A/B test of the subject for this email, right? I had hello new subscribers, and then I had new subscribers, what you need to know. A lot of the time in the UI, you'll actually see them refer to this hello new subscribers, which is that first subject. That's kind of a weird sort of UI thing, but you'll get used to it. You'll kind of understand that like, okay, maybe the other subject will do better, but you'll kind of see it referred to by its first subject here. And let's just send it. So I'll select send broadcast. I'm going to come back to my broadcast page, and you can see that right now it's processing sending. If I refresh here, you can see, okay, well, there's 1 recipient, none have been sent so far. Okay, and so here you can see my new email. So it says, hello, Christian. I just started this email list and I'm super happy that you've subscribed. Check out our social media to learn more about what we're up to. So if I open up this broadcast in the dashboard right now, you can see it's a little out of date here, but I can see my stats, right? So 0% sent, well, that'll probably be 100% sent. But I also have this open rate and this click rate. So this is super, super important in terms of like email analytics. Your open rate is obviously going to be how many people have opened your email. And your click rate, if relevant, is going to be did people click the link in your email, right? So here I have this twitter.com/mytwitter. So if I click this, this is going to tell me that it's a ConvertKit link and not a Twitter link. That's expected. And actually I have Twitter blocked on my browser right now just for like productivity's sake. But you can see that, if I refresh here, will it show it? Okay, so it may not show it yet, but the idea here is that you can basically start to figure out, are people opening my emails and are people clicking on the links inside my emails? That's really important. Last thing here is, you can see that this page is starting to fill out. I have this this awesome stat right now, which is a 100% open rate and a 100% click rate, which is great. Realistically, you probably won't be reaching those numbers, but it's nice to have that here while it lasts. And that pretty much sums up your first, 15, 20 minutes in ConvertKit, where you've set up a landing page, set up a initial subscriber, and you sent your first broadcast. There's a lot of stuff that can be done here in the future. For instance, I can go to my landing page and I can create some more landing pages. I could experiment with different kinds of landing pages and stuff like that. And of course, I can also come to my subscribers and I can begin to do things like tagging my subscribers and kind of sending different emails to different groups inside of my list, depending on, how I want to kind of talk with them and stuff like that. So if you enjoyed this video, like I said earlier, make sure to check out mailinglisthackers.com, where I'm writing a bunch of stuff about ConvertKit and general mailing list stuff, Ghost, which is another big topic, which is like a blogging tool. All of the stuff is being covered here. And we also have a chat, which I mentioned earlier. If you join our join like with a free account on the site, you'll get access to the Discord where people are chatting about this kind of stuff. Still growing, very, very early days. So I would love to have you if you're interested in this stuff. And finally, if you did enjoy the video and you're interested in starting a ConvertKit account, one of the best ways that you can support this project is by signing up using our link in the description, which will help. We'll get a little bit of kickback from ConvertKit, which is really appreciated because my ConvertKit bill is probably one of the largest software bills that I have because I use it for everything. So thanks again. Let me know in the comments if there's any kind of videos you want to see in the future, and happy newslettering. Mailing listing. I don't know what the word is. See you in the next video.